The New South Wales Police Commissioner has a lot of different ideas about what to do to deal with the amount of sexual assaults that are taking place in the country right now. Believe it or not, during COVID, the numbers have actually gone up. No giant surprise there. But one of his suggestions is that we could better use technology. Now, I know that some people kind of roll their eyes at this stuff, but there's a consent app in the United States, which, if this is what he's talking about, it's an interesting idea, right? Weird for those of us that didn't come up in this sort of way. But you literally, at the beginning of the evening, at the right amount of time, declare consent. Afterwards, declare consent, but you have an option within 24 hours to remove consent. So therefore, if somebody forced your hand, then you would be able to at least put a record up. Here's what Mick Fuller had to say. Bronwyn is rolling her eyes aggressively at the moment. You're going to need the whole TV for the eye roll that she just gave me. More in a sec.
Can technology bring people together and find love? Well, clearly it is. And is it perhaps an avenue in terms of trying to bring clarity and some respect to women?
Despite the fact that it was on the radio all morning, despite the fact that it was on the front page of the newspaper, the Premier pretended, I've never heard of this idea today.
I commend the Commissioner for coming forward and making a suggestion, but I don't necessarily think that this is a conversation that can be solved in 24 hours. It's a conversation it's very complex, and we need to do it properly. But what I'm very pleased about is that the conversation's being had.
Sorry to laugh about this, but Bronwyn, the reactions, they are theatrical and I love it. Why do you hate this as much as it seems?
Well, for starters, love Gladys. She's doing a great job. But seriously, can we get rid of two words? Conversation and complexity. Complexity says you're all too stupid, you don't understand, we're the only ones who get it. Yeah. And conversation is some way trying to say we're not going to have a fierce debate about it, we're going to have a polite chat over here. It's rubbish. The fact of the matter is this is a rubbish idea. It is not good for women. For heaven's sake, just because somebody invites you to dinner doesn't mean to say you have to come across. And that's exactly what that implies. It's just not good for women. And it's trying to put on a record, oh, well, when it gets to he said, she said, I've got a record, you said it was okay. What an absolute affront for women.
So it's in a place an abuser could hide behind.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right.
No, thank you.
Lads, does anyone want to take Bronwyn on this, or we just move on?
Move on.
Well, no, I'm with Bronwyn, but I'd say this much, Paul, that the point Graham made earlier about some people not being raised properly is actually the nub of this. I mean, I don't think anybody in any workplace anywhere in Australia should be facing any form of harassment or bullying of any kind. If they do, they should report it. And the point Bronwyn made earlier about people from Parliament going home back to their family, well, if nothing else, tell your mum and dad or your uncle or brother or whatever. But in regards to this app, this is just feeding into that generation who can't communicate except unless they're texting, tweeting and talking to each other via a mobile phone. We just need people to actually realise what is right and what is wrong and take responsibility for it. We don't need an app for that. We just need people to grow up, man up, blokes, and make sure you look after the women who might happen to want to spend time with you.